We build memorials.
A Vancouver student is one of the best poets in the nation. His unlikely rise to national prominence, what he has to say about meeting the president, and what's next. Plus, using brains to build brawn. How a creative teacher is using a tablet device to improve student performance in PE. And middle school students go back to elementary school, this time with video cameras. Hello and welcome to In the Know. I'm Chad Young. A young writer from Vancouver School of Arts and Academics has his dreams come true. He was one of just 5 students from across the country to earn a national honor for poetry. Nick Vole introduces one of Vancouver's best and brightest students.
Miles Hewitt has a way with words. Editor of the school newspaper, the president of the Young Democrats of Clark County, and a songwriter, Miles is a communicator. But his true medium is poetry.
This started as a love poem, and it still is, but now I am finding it hard to remember why I am here.
Miles is a poetry ambassador, chosen from among thousands of students by the White House. Like a good poem, Miles' story builds slowly. First, he won a regional competition.
I thought, oh wow, that's really cool.
Then, a national competition.
That really amazed me.
And then, in late August, the phone rang.
I actually received a call that I'd won, and I was going to be one of 5 national student poets. I was going to be representing 11 Western states, which was incredible.
This past fall, Miles took part in the Library of Congress National Book Festival and the Dodge Poetry Festival, the so-called Super Bowl of poetry. These events gave him the chance to be around the literary elite.
And I feel like one of the most important parts about being a writer is just taking in other people's writing all the time and learning how to draw from that, how to emulate that and make it your own.
His writing teacher at Vancouver School of Arts and Academics, Jennifer Hochhalter, says his willingness to learn sets him apart.
It's really neat to see someone who's so mature and able to take feedback and criticism and just keep going. And he's just like he's like this big sponge.
And then, in December, the biggest thrill of Miles' life, a trip to the White House.
We thought we would probably meet the First Lady, which would be amazing in its own right.
But here came the twist in Miles' story.
We're sitting in this room, and next door we hear this gigantic laugh, and we know it's his laugh, and we're all going, oh my God, oh my God. So then we all get invited into the room, and the president shakes each of our hands, and I'm the only guy among the national student poets, and so after he shook all the girls' hands, and then he shakes my hand, and he says, hey man.
For a young Democrat, the 3-minute meeting with the most powerful man in the world was a dream come true.
He's kind of my hero, so it was really cool to meet him, even for just such a very brief time.
The White House isn't far from Miles' goals.
A dream job for me would be like writing speeches for the president, because that would fuse the writing that I really love with the politics that I also really love. So
I think that with his tenacity and his maturity and his drive, he can do anything he wants.
In his last few months of high school, as he looks toward the future, Miles can also reflect on what he's achieved in the last few months.
These were the first poems I'd ever written, you know, and I submitted, and here I am. So I'm really living proof that you never know what might happen if you submit something that you've created.
For In the Know, I'm Nick Vole.
Miles is examining his college options, and he has already interviewed with Ivy League schools. Columbia River's girls soccer team earns even more accolades. First, it won the Class 3A championship. Now, the Chieftains boast the best player and coach in the state. Junior Maddy Reynolds was voted by the state's coaches as the MVP of the Class 3A All-State girls soccer team. Her coach, Philomena Finnegas, was voted the Coach of the Year. Together, they led River to an undefeated season. Maddy found out she had won after getting messages on Twitter. She's pretty humble about the honor.
It feels pretty great. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people in this area could have gotten it, especially on my team. A lot of people could be in this position as well.
Maddy was joined on the All-State first team by her teammate Sarah Case. Rivers' Taylor Hallquist and Hudson's Bay midfielder Alexa Whitney earned second team All-State honors. Columbia River coach Philemon Afinigas isn't just doing great things with his soccer team. He's leading the way as a teacher too. He's a physical education instructor at Gaiser Middle School and is using technology to improve student performance. Welearn correspondent Mark Ray shows us how one device is changing nearly every element of Mr. Afinigas' PE classes.
Okay, so here's a scenario. You teach PE. You're given an iPad and asked to use it in instruction. What do you do? It seems like they don't belong, but PE teachers here in Vancouver Public Schools have found great ways to integrate iPads in PE instruction with amazing results. Gaiser Middle School PE teacher Philemon Afinigas controls nearly every element of his class with an iPad. It's one of 3 units assigned to Gaiser's PE department by the school district. It begins as the students arrive. They run warm-up laps set to music that Philly controls from his touchscreen while he takes attendance on the same device.
So it kind of streamlines the process and gives us more physical activity time.
Next, the students learn about their heart rates.
It has to be above 60, and then we double it, and then he'll show us sometimes about the heart and then the organs inside our bodies.
The video and audio for this lesson are streamed from the iPad and projected on a screen.
There's definitely power in being able to show them visually as opposed to just talking at them, because a lot of our kids nowadays are visual learners. And essentially I think what we've done is we've brought the classroom, the traditional classroom, into PE.
Now that they know how their hearts work, they get their blood pumping by playing handball as the music continues to play. When Philly pauses the music, the students freeze so he can check out their defensive stances. That's today's lesson.
We have to bend our feet so then to move around, and then we always have to block each other.
But with the iPad, Philly can go one step further. When the students resume their games, he videotapes the action so he can show it to them afterwards.
When a kid is meeting and exceeding the expectation, I can show them a video as a group or individually and say, look how awesome of a job you're doing. And if a kid is struggling with the skill, I can record him doing the skill, and I can say, come over here and take a look at yourself. Your elbow needs to be a little bit higher, so they get instant feedback.
The students say that seeing the instant replay helps them understand how they can improve. And Philly tells us he's already seeing improvements to his teaching.
I don't know how we ever lived without this before.
It's important to note that this story is not just about iPads. It's about the creative ways that teachers like Philly incorporate them in their instruction. It's also important to note that no iPads were harmed in the filming of this video. For In the Know, I'm Mark Ray.
Thanks, Mark. We have an online archive of Welearn stories about innovative classroom technology on our YouTube page. Just go to youtube.com/VanSDTV, click on the Welearn playlist at the bottom of the page, and you'll find out about 24 past stories. Vancouver is just a few months away from hosting some of America's top educators. They're coming to town to see how Vancouver Public Schools incorporates technology into the classroom. In May, the district will host a 3-day conference for administrators, teachers, and school board members from around the nation. Administrators are working hard to plan a fun, comprehensive event that really shows off the best the school district has to offer.
Our prime difficulty was we really have so much to show that trying to figure out what do we do in these 3 days that really shows off the best of what we have and the most of how we intend to move forward across the district as a whole.
Attendees will hear speeches, see presentations, and take tours of schools to see technology in action. This event is sponsored by the National School Board Association. 3 other districts will also host events. This is the 3rd time Vancouver Public Schools has been selected for a site visit like this one. It's the only district to ever earn that many visits. Voters in Vancouver will decide on 2 levies that affect Vancouver Public Schools. The VPS School Board has submitted 2 levies to voters for the February 12th election. The first is a replacement maintenance and operations levy. It's not a new tax. It replaces the current school levy that's set to expire next year. Vancouver voters have repeatedly approved M&O levies like this one for nearly 50 years. The M&O levy makes up 19% of the district's budget and pays for everyday expenses. The second levy up for voter approval is new. It's a technology levy and would pay for things like new student computers and other equipment, and support for technology in the classroom. Both of these levies require more than 50% of the vote to pass. I'm not just the host of In the Know. I'm also a video production teacher at Gaiser Middle School. One of my favorite projects this year was unique for two reasons. First, it was a walking field trip, no buses required. Second, my students got a chance to team up with students from nearby Anderson Elementary. Gaiser's video technology students don't need a school bus for this unique walking and working field trip. After 10 minutes of trudging through the rain, the students are on the scene and ready to go.
At Gaiser Middle School, video technology is a career and technical education class. It's very rare for middle school students to be able to get real-life field experience in video technology, and that's what we're doing here at Sarah J. Anderson.
In November, SJA Associate Principal Patrick Connors approached the video technology program with a mutually beneficial project. Anderson would receive 20 high-quality videos, while the students at Gaiser would experience the challenge of working for an outside client. 8th grader Andrew Martinez is excited about the opportunity.
We're going to be working with the littler kids. We're the professionals today, and it's going to be fun because we're going to be directing everything like the professionals producing. We're going to be producing our own stuff. We have our sheets for what we're supposed to do. We're going to make those stories, and we're going to make it happen.
The videos students are directing, producing, and editing are part of Sarah J. Anderson's Expectations Expo. The expo teaches students correct ways to behave in various areas of the school and is a vital part of teaching the school's culture.
It's a great program, and I think it'll really take our work to the next level.
For many of Gaiser's students, that next level will be high school video technology programs and beyond, in an industry that continues to grow. For all of the students, the walking field trip is a chance to be the grown-up and the professional, even if it's just for a day. Gaiser's students have worked incredibly hard on the videos, and they know that their legacy will affect Sarah J. Anderson for many years to come. Student artists from Fort Vancouver High School get to have their work seen by the public. Young graphic designers in Emmy McGowan's class were given a project to create art with texture, and the best ones were selected to hang at the Vancouver Food Co-op. Located downtown, the co-op's mission is to connect people with food and with each other to build a strong community.
And it's a good way of providing a platform for the students to show their art to the community and to bring people from the community in who have an interest in the student art who wouldn't otherwise know about the co-op.
I just really appreciate that the co-op offers this opportunity to us because we can get out, we can get student work out into the community, and it's really great for people to see what we're doing in the high schools here in Vancouver.
Ms. McGowan tells us her students are thrilled to have the opportunity to share their work with the community. The display debuted on a recent First Friday, and although this show is over, the Food Co-op has a number of these throughout the year. Students at Hudson's Bay compete in a project that's one part final exam and one part Food Network. Nutrition teacher Kristen Connor organized an Iron Chef competition. Students had 5 days to plan a meal with a main course, a side dish, and a beverage. Like the TV show, they had a secret ingredient, spinach, and their meal had to have a theme. The competition was their final, so the students had to demonstrate cooking techniques and an understanding of nutrition.
They get to really show the skills that they learned this semester instead of just taking a test with knowledge. It's a real performance assessment.
Judges floated from table to table, sampling and scoring each group's meals. The students were judged on taste, creativity, and presentation. If you're watching on Comcast, we put together a full wrap-up of this event, and you can see it next. It's also available on the district's YouTube channel, youtube.com/VanSDTV. One of the event's judges was Dave Finney. You may recognize him from the VPS cooking show Dave's Kitchen, produced at Fort Vancouver High School. Dave's Kitchen is part of the VPS Power Half Hour, which airs on Comcast Channel 28 and also on our YouTube channel. Columbia River's football coach earns an honor that took a lifetime to achieve. John O'Rourke is now a member of the Washington State Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame. O'Rourke has led a winning program at River for more than 19 years, with a career record of 131 wins and 66 losses. He's 99th all-time in Washington history for wins. O'Rourke's teams have won 7 league titles, including last season, and have also reached the playoffs 7 times. 2 educators from Vancouver School of Arts and Academics are recognized for their outstanding work. Fern Tresvan was named the Washington State Dance Teacher of the Year by the Washington Alliance for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance. Fern has taught dance at VSAA since it opened in 1996. She was nominated by someone at her school, but she still doesn't know who.
It is always heartwarming to have someone consider the work that you have done to be important and significant, and we all need that as professionals in any field. To be recognized by your peers is significant, and I would say thank you very much.
Fern tells us the award has motivated her to assess what she's doing successfully and what she still wants to accomplish before she retires in a few years. Also honored at VSAA is its principal, James O'Banion. He was voted Distinguished High School Principal of the Year for 2012-13. The award is for the 3A, 4A Greater St. Helens League area. Congratulations to both Fern and James for their awards. Kudos also go out to the most recent Employee Excellence Award winners. They're Vancouver Public School employees who have been honored by the school board. Here are the honorees. Kelly McIver, custodian at Lincoln Elementary School. Ivy Binkowski, technology assistant at Chinook Elementary and Alki Middle School. Scott Anderson, 5th grade teacher at Lincoln. And Pat Harris, technology assistant with the district IT department. Thanks to all those hardworking people for their commitment to kids. And thank you for watching. Remember, you can watch past episodes of In the Know on our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/VanSDTV. I'm Chad Young. We'll see you next time on In the Know.